Okay, suppose that the market for milk can be represented by the following equations of our demand equation. Now notice with this demand equation, P is the subject to the formula. So this is an inverse demand equation, okay? When P is the subject to the formula, it's an inverse demand equation, right? If Q is the subject of the formula, then it's a normal demand equation. We've also got our supply equation. This is also inverse because price is the subject of the formula. Where P is the price per gallon and Q represents the quantity of milk represented in millions of gallons of milk consumed per day. So, number one, calculate the equilibrium price and the quantity of milk. So, colleagues, the way we are calculating equilibrium last time is the same way, even though they give you an inverse equations. Okay, you can still calculate them. Okay, so let's calculate the equilibrium price and quantity. Equate these together. So let us calculate. Let me bring this question here. So we just equate the demand function and the supply function. Okay. So we're going to say 12 minus 0.5 Q. Now at equilibrium, QD and QS are the same. Okay, so just leave it as Q here. Because at equilibrium, quantity demanded is equal to quantity supplied. Okay. Equals 0.1 Q. So let's solve for Q. What value are we getting? So 0.1 times 0.5, 0.6 Q. We divide both sides by 0.6. 12 divided by 0.6, what do we get? 0.2. Mm-hmm. Let me check on my calculator. It's 20. Sir, what did you divide by? Okay, so that's our equilibrium, quantity supplied and quantity demanded. Then, how do we get our equilibrium price? Substitute Q equals 20 in any of these functions. So you can substitute in the supply function 0.1 times 20. Even here, if you substitute 0 0.5 times 20, that is 10. 12 minus 10, that is 2. Okay, so our equilibrium price is 2 kwach. Are we okay with this? Any questions? Is the equilibrium quantity? No, that's yeah, the quantity demanded, also the quantity supplied, since they're both equal at equilibrium. So we found the quantity, yes. Then we found the price. Yes. So here 12 minus 0.5 times 20. Excuse me. Let me just draw the graph here because there's something about consumer surplus and thing there. So equilibrium price is 2 kwacha. Equilibrium quantity is 20 units. Okay, the next part, if to help the dairy farmers, the government sets a minimum price of 2 kwacha 15 ngwe per gallon of milk. What is the new quantity of milk sold in the marketplace? So, colleagues, is this a price floor or a price ceiling? This 2 kwacha 15 price floor, yes. So here on your graph, I'm going to put 2.5 kwacha. Then you draw a straight line here. Yes, because have you seen there's a part here which says illustrates answers 1 and 2 on the graph. Okay. And then using the graph, we have to calculate the consumer surplus and producer surplus after this price thing has been enacted. So here they want to know what is the new quantity of milk sold. So which function are we dealing with? Demand or supply when we talk about sold? Supply, yes. Okay. And basically on the graph, we're talking about this point where the price flow touches the supply curve. Remember, our supply function is P equals 0.1 QS. Could you mute your mic, sir? Yes, mute your mic. So the price has been given to us 2.5. Zero 0.1 QS. So to get the new quantity supplied, we just divide both sides by zero 0.1, right? Okay, so 2.5 times divided by zero 0.1, 25 years. So this is the new amount of milk sold in the market. Are we okay with that? Any questions? Even without the graph, you would have just come straight to this, okay? And you get 25 units. So we've also done part 3. So part 4 now. Using this graph, calculate the consumer surplus and producer surplus change after the price supports were enacted. So they've said the consumer surplus and producer surplus change, meaning you have to get the producer surplus and consumer surplus before and after, then you get the change. All right, colleagues? So first things first, we need to get this value here, and we also need to get this value here. Okay, so that it will enable us to calculate first the initial producer and consumer surplus. All right, so how we get this value? Okay, this value here and this value here in both the demand function and the supply function, you're going to equate Q to 0. Okay, so we start with the supply function. P equals P equals 0.1 QS. All right. So if Q equals 0, okay, because we want to find these values along the y-axis, okay. So if QS equals 0, what does P equal? 0.1 times 0, that is 0. You're not seeing the board. Sure. Mm. How many can see the board? How many can see the board? Oh, yeah, I'm about to see the reactions. Madam Helen, can you see? Madam Helen, Mr. Joshua, just put raise thumbs up if you can see. Okay, Madam Helen, Mr. Joshua, Mr. Kasono, Madam Sylvia, Mr. Vincent, Madam Yvonne, okay, Madam Betha, Mr. Emmanuel. Okay. Those who cannot see, try to log in and log out. And remember, I'm recording, so if you're unable to see, you watch the recording. Okay. Just try to log in and log out. Okay. So for those who can see the board, what I was calculating here is this value here. This bottom value here, 0 here. When quantity supplied is 0, the price is also 0. Okay. Because we need these values along the y-axis to enable us to calculate the consumer surplus and producer surplus, all right? Then the second value we need to find is this one here. This second one I've ticked here, okay? Dealing with the demand function. We have to find this value here. So with the demand function, which was P equals 12 minus 0.5 Q, equate Q to 0, okay? Equate Q to 0, okay? To get these values on the y-axis, just equate Q to 0, okay, colleagues? That's what you should remember. To get any values on the y-axis, just equate Q to 0, okay? Yes. So if we equate Q to 0, it will be 12 minus 0.5 times 0. So 0.5 times 0, that is 0. 12 minus 0, that is 12. Okay, so this value here on top is 12. Any questions, colleagues? We found the values we need on our x-axis. Okay. Because without these values, it's going to be hard for you to calculate the consumer surplus and the producer surplus. All right. Because remember, it's just a matter of, remember, we're using areas. So you need to know the height, the breadth, blah, blah, blah. Yes. So any questions? Okay. One other important figure that we need to get is here when this price flow was enacted, right? We found how much quantity was applied. Let's also find out how much quantity is demanded. Okay, with this 2.5 here, when that 2.5 price flow was enacted. Okay, so that we get our value here. The reason why we're going to need this value, which I'm talking about, is because after this price flow has been enacted, all right, the consumer surplus is going to be affected and the producer surplus is also going to be affected. So this value is cardinal here. Okay. So when the government puts this price floor of 2.5 kwacha, we say the quantity supplied is 25 million. What about the quantity demanded? So this 2.5 kwacha, we substitute it into the demand function. Okay. So P is going to be 2.5 equals 12 minus 0.5 QD. Okay. So we take this negative 0.5 QD over the equal sign, it becomes positive 0.5 QD. And this 2.5, take it over the equal sign, it becomes negative 2.5. So colleagues, let's just get our calculators. 12 minus 2.5. 9.5. 0.5 divided by 9.5. 19. Okay. So when the price floor was enacted, quantity demanded 19 million units, quantity supplied 25 million units. Okay. So now we've got all the figures that we need on the x-axis and the y-axis so that we can calculate the consumer and producer surpluses. Okay. And we get the change. But they want us to tabulate the change in the consumer surplus, the change in the producer surplus. So we get the consumer surplus, which is the benefit to the consumers before the price flow, and the producer surplus, which is the benefit to the uh, sellers before the price flow. Okay. So this triangle, so we go back to maths G12. Actually, this is grade 8 maths. Okay. This triangle here will represent the consumer surplus before the price flow has been enacted. And then this triangle here is the producer surplus here before the price flow has been enacted. The triangle below equilibrium represents producer surplus. The triangle above equilibrium represents consumer surplus. Okay. So this one in green is producer surplus. The one in red is consumer surplus. Okay. So let's isolate the triangles to make life easy. So before price flow, BPF before the price flow. So consumer surplus, we just draw an isolated triangle here. So colleagues, what is the height of this triangle? Refer to this graph. You're moving from 2 kwacha to 12 kwacha. So what is the height? From 2 to 12 kwacha. 10. Yes. Okay, colleagues, we are moving from this 2 kwacha at equilibrium to 12 kwacha, where the demand curve is cutting the y-axis. Then this length here below on the x-axis from 0 to 20, what is the breadth or the length? It's 20. Okay, colleagues, are we okay how we've got these values? Because if such a question comes, you are going. Where are you behind, madam? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What we are before the price flow. We're doing this before the price flow. Yes. We're doing it before the price flow. After the price, yes. After the price flow, we're also going to do that because they wanted the change in consumer surplus and producer surplus. Yes. So we're doing first before, then after. Any other questions, madam? So area of a triangle, half B times H. So half B is 20, half times 20 times 10. Half of 20 is 10, 10 times 10, 100 kwacha. Okay. I know area is in square meters, but there's We cannot say 100 kwacha squared, no. Okay. So this is the consumer surplus before the price flow. Let's also get the producer surplus before the price flow. So on the producer surplus, the height, what is the height? Refer to the graph there. What is the height? It's 2 years. Because we're moving from 0 to 2 here. So 2 minus 0, that is 2. And what is the breadth or the length? It's 20 years. So half B times H. Right? So half times B, that is, so half times 20 times 2. Half of 20 is 10. 10 times 2, 20. So producer surplus 20 kwacha. Okay, so this is before the price flow. Okay. Now the price flow has been enacted. All right. So on your graph, okay, this part here where we got the quantity demanded, where the when the price flow is enacted, you draw a straight line like this. Let me zoom in. Okay. Then the consumer surplus is going to be this small triangle above the price flow. Okay, this small triangle above the price flow, that's now our consumer surplus. Then the producer surplus becomes this new, becomes a trapezium now. Okay, colleagues, this is how it becomes now. Then, though it was a price ceiling enacted, where it will be where quantity supplied touches the price ceiling, then you draw a straight line. Okay, and then you're going to now divide. One triangle be smaller, and you get a trapezium. Okay, after both of these, after price floor and the price ceiling, just know there will be one triangle and one trapezium. Okay, colleagues? One triangle, one trapezium. If it was a price ceiling, the trapezium would have been for consumer surplus, and then producer surplus would have been a smaller triangle. So, our new triangle, after the price floor has been enacted, Okay, it's going to be this one here, this small one here. So let me isolate it so that we calculate the consumer surplus. So if we isolate that triangle here, what is the new height, colleagues? And what is the new breadth? Yes, because we're moving from 2.5 to 12. Okay, colleagues? Moving from 2.5 to 12. All right, so that represents 9.5. And the new length, 19. It was 20 earlier on, now it's 19. So let's calculate the consumer surplus. Half times 19 times 9.5. 90.5. Okay. So we've seen our consumer surplus was 100 kwacha. Yes. Okay. I haven't used my calculator yet. 90.25. Okay. Okay. I had 90.5. Okay. So, colleagues, we can see that before the price floor, surplus was 100 kwacha. After the price floor, it has dropped to 90.25. So we just have to find by how much has it dropped. So 100 kwacha minus 90.25. 9.75. Okay. So there's been a 9.75 kwacha drop in our consumer surplus. Now we go to our producer surplus here. This trapezium here. Let me draw it here. A, B, and H. So, colleagues, let's start with our B. What is our B? Look at our graph there. What is our B? No, 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 no. Where's the green? The trapezium? It's 2.5. It's 2.5. Yes, because we're moving from 0 to 2.5. Yes, yes, yes. 2.5. What is our H? 19. Yes, it's 19. From 0 to 19. And then what is our A? So this is how we calculate. Because for to get our A, we need this value here. Okay. How do we get this value? Okay, we see that this line, when Q is 19 units, is also touching the supply curve. Okay, it's touching the supply curve. All right, so substitute Q equals 19 in the supply function. Okay, so that you get the price. Okay, remember our supply function was P equals 0.1 Q, QS. All right. So if you substitute QS with 19, what do we get? 0.1 times 19. I think that's 1.9 if I'm not mistaken. Yes, so this value here is 1.9. So basically from 2.5 to 1, from 1.9 to 2.5, how long is that? 2.5 minus 1.9, 0.6. Yes. Are we okay with that? Okay, so what's the formula for area of a trapezium? Yes, okay. Mm-hmm. When we're dealing with, okay, the consumer surplus. Yes, which 9.5? Oh, it was the, I remember a 9.5. Where did you, oh, yes. Yes, it was 9.5. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes. We, we, we've got it. Remember this? I, are you talking about from 0 to 2.5? Yes. Don't get confused with these symbols here. Okay, even this can be our age, madam. Okay, this can be our age. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Don't get. I just wrote them randomly. Actually, yeah. Since you are seeing the a vertical as age, so yeah, we can put this as our age here. Okay, madam, to make life easy for people, and then put this as our B. Okay. Yeah. So I was asking now, the formula for trapezium. Okay, A plus B times H. Okay. Now let's see when they put the trapezium like this. On the figure, it's showing like this: A, B, and H, right? A, B, and H. So half. So this will be our A, B. Okay, this will be our B, then this will be our H. Then, since this trapezium is inverted, okay, it's inverted. So A is 0.6, B is 2.5, H is 19. So let's calculate. Zero point 0.6 plus 2.5, 3.1 times 19, 58.9 divided by 2, 29.45. Are we all getting that value? So our producer surplus has increased from 20 kwacha to 29.45. So basically what this question is illustrating is that when the price floor is enacted, the sellers or the producers are the ones who benefit because the benefit increases and the consumer's benefit reduces. So 29.45 minus 20 kwacha, 9.45 kwacha. Mm-hmm. Yes. When a price floor is enacted, madam, it means the suppliers can sell higher than the amount for the price floor. So here, milk, they can sell it for more than 2.5 kwacha. Okay. At equilibrium, milk was going for 2 kwacha. Now government has said you can sell milk above 2.5 kwacha. So who do you think will benefit from that? You are paying 2 kwacha at first. Now you're paying prices higher than 2.5 kwacha. Mm. The seller will benefit. You as the customer, it's now expensive for you now. That was just the consumer surplus. That was the consumer surplus. Then after the price floor was enacted, it reduced to 90.25, showing that the benefit of the consumers has reduced due to this price floor. Then the benefit for the suppliers has increased due to the price floor.